Hi legends, TikTok. Are we building up a massive spring for a breakout here to the upside? Are we first going to make a lower high, expecting momentum here to the upside, also considering the full moon has printed? For those of you that's been following me for a while, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Today, let's go through some fundamental news, what's happening around the world, and go and analyze the price of Bitcoin here together. Also, remember the three exchanges that I use for my daily trading: Bybit, Blowfin and Mexi. Blowfin and Mexi, you don't need to do any KYC, qualifying for some nice bonuses when you sign up. Also a 20% fee reduction in Bybit when you use these links to sign up. Come trade with me. Let's get into some fundamental news. First up, the new whale's initial investment in Bitcoin is almost twice the old whale's cumulative total. And here you can see with the new ETFs that's been launched and the whales, the fresh money that's now entering the market in blue or purple, and the orange, the long-term holders, you can see that fresh whales, including the old whales, are still holding on to their Bitcoin, buying in aggressively, expecting that massive bull run here to the upside after the halving. Next up, just in, Morgan Stanley filed a prospectus to add Bitcoin exposure in two of their funds, the Discovery and the Growth portfolio. MS also filed for Bitcoin ETF exposure in a dozen funds earlier this month. Morgan Stanley sent Bitcoin compliance and educational material out to all advisors 3 weeks ago in preparation to approve Bitcoin ETFs for its network of advisors to sell to their clients. Morgan Stanley has $1.5 trillion in assets under its management, so still some bullish sentiment out there which could give us that buying pressure for momentum here to the upside. Next up, GBTC outflows are slowing down, only 35 million outflow as of 22 April. And here you can see it's slowly starting to slow down over here, over time. But I mean, here we could see it slowed down as well, and then it started increasing again. So we really need the bulls to step in here and buy up that supply. Right, next up. Big breaking, BlackRock goes big on Bitcoin. BlackRock ETF holds 59,350 more Bitcoin than MicroStrategy. And MicroStrategy at a time was one of the largest holders, and now BlackRock has overtaken that position. So here you can see just that absolute demand from fresh whales entering the market. Next up, Bitcoin has been consolidating in a massive bull flag and funding is negative. Okay? The next leg higher is going to be absolutely furious when it comes. TikTok. Okay, so perhaps that is a recipe made in heaven where we are inside a consolidation zone, building up that bull flag for a breakout to the upside with a negative funding rate, which means there are more shorts in the market currently than longs. Is this boiling up for a massive explosion here to the upside? Next up, Bitcoin daily RSI has broken out of a falling wedge pattern, indicating Bitcoin is ready for a 15 to 20% bullish rally. Right, and here you can see the RSI on the daily has just broken out. Will this give us that momentum here to the upside? So here you can see a lot of bullish sentiment still out in the market, negative funding rates, fresh whales entering the market, RSI just breaking out. Will this be a massive fake out and a bull trap, or are we going to go and claim the all-time highs? Next up, altcoins. Soon you will see altcoins at the same level where Bitcoin is currently at the moment. But where Bitcoin has only made 50 to 70% from here, many altcoins will go 5 to 10x when the altcoin market cap reaches its all-time high. You can see Bitcoin is currently here, we all know, claiming the high, struggling to break through inside of this little bull flag over here. And here's the altcoin market cap still lagging behind. Does it still have catch-up work to do here to the upside? And can we still expect that juicy altcoin season that everyone is waiting for? Next up, breaking, Bonk goes live in European fintech Revolut app. 38 million users in the EU, US and other eligible countries can now trade in-app, along with Learn and Earn programs starting on the 29th of April. Let's go look at the price of Bonk here quick. So looking at Bonk here on the 4 hour, you can see that we have broken this trend here to the upside. Massive bullish momentum, nice green volume kicking in here, but I have to highlight that we are fighting with resistance. I would turn bullish here on Bonk if we can successfully break this resistance, flip it into support where we can then expect that upwards momentum. Failing to break this resistance could send us a little bit down, right? Perhaps retest the trend for then continuation to the upside. So Bonk is still looking bullish at the moment. Let's go analyze the price of Bitcoin. Right, looking at the price of Bitcoin here, the one thing that I am looking at is to say, if I take a fixed range profile, okay, from this entire area that we are currently in, you can see exactly where we got rejected, right? By the point of control. So a nice little short here to the downside. For those of the legends that did get into the short, we've mentioned that little point of control over here for a possible rejection. Okay, but we still have to acknowledge that we have found acceptance back inside of the range. right? You can see a deviation, 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 and as soon as you get acceptance back inside the range, the target is usually the top of the range. Is this perhaps a rejection where we're going to make a higher low compared to this low over here, continuing the momentum here to the upside to the top of the range over here? Right, so for now we have been rejected here by the point of control where the most volume was traded during this entire range since 29 Feb 2024. Right, let me take the scribble out the way. For now, what I would like to do is let's zoom into this structure over here and go and analyze the price of Bitcoin. Right, here on the 1 hour time frame, this is currently what I'm watching at the moment. This is not easy price action where we are at the moment, but what I do like is I've highlighted this pivot in many of my videos. I don't really like that we've just SFP'd from this high. I wanted to see a nice claim of the high. You flip it into support for continuation to the upside, and for now it just looks like an SFP. So perhaps what we can expect here is that we need to find strength to break out, because if this is a bump and run scenario where you have the two taps at the top, you have the bump phase, and then you have the breakout to come and claim the high again. And at the moment we are not breaking out successfully. We're currently trending below or trading below the trend over here that could send us down to a little bit lower levels. So the first level that I will watch is to say that, take the scribble out here, when I take a fib from the low to the high over here, and where could be potentially bounce, is to say that, well, let me go and switch on some daily levels over here. Okay, put on my today analysis and point of controls. So now it looks a bit messy, but I'm trying to find levels of confluence to say that, well, if we do get rejected from where we are right now, okay, where are that highly possible bouncing area for a higher low for continuation to the upside? The most obvious level that I do see here is the value area low of this entire range, where there's also a naked point of control. There's a value area low in confluence with the 50% fib level over here, where we could, if we get rejected here, where we could expect that bounce for then the true breakout to the upside. We also have to acknowledge that we still have a daily level over here around about $64,897, where we could come back down, bounce or SFP from the daily level, and then expect the breakout here to the upside. So currently what I'm doing inside of this range over here is building a little bit of a swing long position here to the upside, adding a little bit, expecting that higher low for a breakout here to the upside. Okay, with my clear invalidation here below the lows. And I have to stress, this is a low leverage, low capital position, expecting a massive momentum here to the upside. So even if I do get stopped out, it's not going to be the end of the world for me. I'm managing my risk properly over here. The next thing I want to do is let's just quickly zoom into this structure over here on the 15-minute time frame. Looking at the 15-minute time frame over here, you can see exactly where we got rejected at the point of control of the entire range. And this is currently where we're finding support by a naked point of control of this entire range over here. You know, choppy, choppy, choppy. Can this even be that breakout here to the upside and we form perhaps a trend? So we break out, we make a lower high for momentum here to the downside. And I would be keeping an eye on this little mini trend that's going to form over here if the scenario plays out. The other scenario that I'm watching is to say that, well, we still have levels, small little levels to the downside, is to say perhaps it's not going to be a deep correction. Perhaps we are going to, I'm keeping an eye here on the previous day value area low, right? There's a previous day value area low in confluence with these highs over here that can still provide support. Where we come down, we SFP, and then we break out. If this level doesn't hold, and that's why it's important, I will be watching the price reaction at each level. If this level doesn't hold, next level is the daily level that I'll be watching. If this level doesn't hold, the next level I'll be watching is another naked point of control of this consolidation area over here, where we could get the bounce, and also in confluence here with the value area low of this entire range on the 4-hour time frame. Today, officially, the full moon has printed. In most of the countries around the world, I have made a video dedicated to the full moon and new moon and the effects it has on the markets. Go check out this video right now. And until the next one, cheers for now.